All right, this is an introduction to Stickies, which is a little project demonstrating the RMRK2 standard on Singular.app. Now, the Singular platform just launched this new version 2, Singular.app, where the original was Singular.remark.app for Remark 1. Now, this was about a week ago at the time of this recording, and it's still not fully deployed or functional. There's some things that don't work at the moment on the Singular platform, but we can get them to work if we know some technical stuff, which is what I'm going to demonstrate here. Um, yeah, so there's Stickies, which are basically they're just little stickmen, but they have like 50 different slots of different components that they can add to them. So you can build this on this base. You can build a character of sorts, and those items. The current collection lives at this collection here, and there are I don't know 50 or so items. There's a thumbs up, a regular hand, a smile, a turtle, a couple backgrounds, and there's more than I have showing here. These are just the ones for sale at the moment, but it is easier to see for sale. Well, I'll have not as many as like just tons and tons of eyeballs. So I'll likely keep just a couple of things for sale of each type just so that you can more easily see them. Hiding copies doesn't seem to work for me, probably because I named them differently. This is not actually the same as this because the metadata is a little different, but uh, anyway, the workaround for that is to just look at the for sale ones, and I'll try to have some always for sale of every item type. Um, now, the challenge is going to be how do we buy a sticky? How do we get equipment for it? How do we equip it? First, we can talk for a minute about the Remark standard. It's on the GitHub page. I'll probably put the links to everything I talk about in the description, but Remark Spec has the what is RMRK2, and it is standard RMRK2 owning NFTs, owning other NFTs, NFTs as DAOs, multi-priority resources, emoting, which was also on Remark 1 in conditional rendering. You can watch Bruno's videos talking in detail about Remark 2 standard, but we are going to need we're going to reference this page to do some of the trickery that we're going to do to make the stickies work before Singular adds everything. And specifically in here, we're going to look at the interactions, and we're going to be using a manual send as well as an accept, and we'll go over that shortly. So yeah, let's buy a sticky. So I have a couple accounts. This is the official Stickies account, and I have, I think, one sticky for sale. Yeah, so I have this sticky 145 for sale. And if we look at him, we can see that he's got some stuff. He's got a background. He's got a hand there behind the coffee cup. He's got another hand. He's got a smile, and he's got a ticket down here. And if we look at his backpack, we can see he's actually also got a flower, and I think that's, oh, he has two coffee cups. I guess we could drink 2 cups of coffee. We'll see how that works once we buy it. So this is for sale. Let's switch. We're going to switch over to my other account, my main like personal account, and let's reload the page just in case. I don't think we need to. And we're going to buy this sticky. So buy now. enter our password, hide it from you so you don't see how many characters it is. Okay, so it should be processing. And I should be buying this sticky. I, meaning this RMRK, is my personal account. So this is going to change from owned by Stickies to owned by whatever I call myself. I think Braun Dojo. Okay, cool. So I have bought this. So now it's mine and I can play with it. So looking at it, what can I do? So this is like a playground. I can equip and unequip things. Doesn't like, so it says it should say equip and unequip. Let me reload again. Backpack. Great. So if you don't see these things here, the move to root and unequip, you might need to reload the page or make sure that your account is showing here. So we have this coffee cup. We have this. So we can equip this. Now, notice it put it in this is his left hand. We can unequip it. But if we unequip this one, now the flower is there. This, pretend that didn't happen. Uh, because I sort of behind the scenes equipped these on top of each other, which generally won't happen unless you're doing things this technical way. But so everything is unequipped now. And now if I pick one of those handheld items like a coffee cup to equip it, it's going to ask me which one I want. And I named these a little too long, but one's right hand holding and one's left hand holding. So if you want to put it in his left hand, which is going to be the right side of the screen, we can do that. Or if we want to put it in the left hand, we can do that. Or wait, I did it backwards. Right hand. So there, on our left. Now, if something is already equipped and we have two slots that are possible to equip it in, it will automatically equip to the one that we have available. And the same thing will apply to this flower. So if we unequip this and then we equip this, it will ask, do you want it in our right hand or our left hand? So equip that there, and let's equip this one in the other hand. So we got our flower and our coffee cup. This hasn't actually, this is just a preview screen. So if we want this to remain, then we need to save the changes and submit a transaction. I did save my password, so I don't have to enter it every time for here. But this is going to save this change, and this is running in equip RMRK standard behind the scenes. And then the servers are just waiting to see this change. So this is well and good, and this is, you can do this now and doesn't involve any funky technical stuff behind the scenes. You can just use Singular for this. But let's consider I want to buy a cowboy hat. Now, if I look at the items, we can see that there's a cowboy hat for sale and for a great deal of 0.03 KSM. So I'm going to buy this, and this is going to introduce the first problem and the main problem, which you will see. So I need to change over to my RMRK account because this is seller's account and I'm going to buy it. Buy now. So wait a couple seconds and we'll change this from Stickies to Braun Dojo. Now the problem is that we don't actually want me to own it. We want the NFT, we want the Sticky to own it. So we need to transfer ownership to our Sticky. See, I own it. Now if I go back to my space, we'll see it. Right here. Is that the one I just bought? I think it is. But we need to get this to the sticky. Now, in order to do this, the send is just putting in the Stickies NFT. In Canaria, you have this option of add to one of your birds, but this doesn't exist here. We do have this gift thing. So maybe if I put in my Stickies ID, which is in the URL, this is the NFT's unique ID, is this whole string here after /collectibles. This is the ID. So maybe if we put this in, where did our hat go? I think I left the hat page. So maybe we can send the cowboy hat to that. So we're going to go here to gift, and this is not going to work. Paste it, send. No recipient. This can only be a Kusama address. So this can only be like a root account. And this is the main problem that we have. Now, it's not really a problem. It's a conscious choice of the RMRK team because they're working on nested royalties. So this can be easily done, I believe. It's just they're saving it because they want to have a structure that works for royalties where if you own but aren't the royalty recipient for an item, you can't like hide another item underneath it. They want nested royalties to work. But we can do this behind the scenes. And since I don't care about nested royalties for this case, I'm just going to do it. So how do we do this technically? Now this is going to be in the RMRK spec in send. This is how you send to an arbitrary recipient. And it's easiest just to look at an example. Okay, so it's RMRK : send : 2.00 : what we're sending : who we're sending it to. So this is the structure we need. And we can create that sending to. We can create that like base. So this is what we want. Now, what are we sending? We're sending this. And who are we sending it to? I'm sorry, no, we're not sending that. We're sending the cowboy hat. So what is the cowboy hat? We can find that in our space. And if we just open the details of the cowboy hat, we can get the cowboy hat's ID. So we're sending cowboy hat to our sticky, and we own this. So let's do this. Now, how do we send a transaction manually? We need to do that with the Polkadot.js Explorer, and that is if we go to polkadot.js.org, we'll come to this page, polkadot.js.org, click on apps, or if you go straight there. Now this is going to be the Polkadot blockchain explorer. Once it connects, by default, we'll be on the Polkadot network, but we want to be on Kusama. So we're going to need to switch with this little down thing. And we're going to shrink this to get Polkadot to go away and expand this, expand Kusama. And we need to pick one of these three, doesn't really matter. And then we're going to click switch. Notice the banner is, what is that color? Pinkish, magenta, and it switched to black, the Kusama color. So now we're on the Kusama network watching the Kusama blocks, and we can submit a Kusama extrinsic. To do that, we go to developer extrinsic. Again, developer extrinsic. We need to make sure we're using the correct account. I have a few, so this is the account that owns both the sticky and the cowboy hat. And the extrinsic type is system, and specifically the function is remark. And this is where remark gets its name. And this is where we put our manual string. So our manual string is the cowboy hat, paste, send, oh, got a space there, to paste that. Don't know if there's a space there or not. There was. Okay, so we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it in here. So this is us submitting a manual remark, a manual extrinsic. To submit it, we need to sign it. That's done with submit transaction. We'll have a fee of like 3 cents or 1 cent, something like that. Sent from this account. We're good. Going to sign it. It's going to ask me to sign the transaction. I'm going to do that and hope I didn't mess anything up. Just like a normal singular transaction, it'll take a few seconds to complete, but we should see this change. Notice now it says owned by Ron Dojo, created by Stickies. This is going to change. I might need to reload it for it to change. Or it might just take a few seconds. Or I messed something up. Let's take a look. Did I mess something up? Ron Dojo is me. I did. So I did not put the send in. So remark send. If we look at the send operation, it's remark send 2.00. And from and then to. Let's try this again. We just lost 3 cents. You do want to be careful because you're really doing stuff here. So if you make an incorrect thing, it's not going to hurt as far as if it's invalid, that's fine. You just lost the money to send it. But if you send it to the wrong address, that's certainly a real thing. Um, but remark, send, item, and then recipient. Now we can see it is now owned by this, but in the inventory of this. Now, what is this? It is my sticky. Now, I don't see it because it hasn't been equipped yet, but it should be in my bag, and it is. So at this point, I can now equip my hat. So that is part one of the problem, is that we don't have the ability to send an item that we own to an NFT that we own yet easily, even though, as I just demonstrated, we can. So I'll sign the transaction just to keep it. And then I'm going to demonstrate the second problem. Now, this first problem, I thought, well, okay, I think I can get around this. And what I'm going to do instead is make a ticket system. So I'm going to sell stickies or give them away or whatever with tickets. And you can see this ticket here. And the idea of the ticket is that instead of buying an item, you would just have this ticket and send it to me. So you would go here and since you have this ticket, you would just gift it to the KSM address that's here, which is the Stickies address. And once I receive it, I check the history and I send you a random item to the sticky that it's equipped to. So this sticky would get, in exchange for that ticket being redeemed, I would burn the ticket and send you a random item. Now let's do the Paris background. So let's pretend like, well, actually I might as well do it. I'll send it. No, I'm not going to do it. But You can just, well, maybe I will. Sure. It's not going to hurt anything. So let's see. Copy this, and then we're going to gift it to that, which is the Stickies account. Sign it. Maybe you can't even do that. I'm not sure if you can send an equipped item. I think you can. Let's see if this changes to Stickies, owned by Stickies, created by Stickies. Success, great. So that was my idea. So when I get this, then I would just look at the history and see where it came from. I would see that this guy had it, and so I would send him a random item. Now let's do that. So I'm going to switch over to Stickies. And we should see, I don't know if it comes in order. I think it might, it's like order of created, not order that I received it, but it's mine. So I see that I've gotten it. Whatever. It's my responsibility to see when I get things and monitor that. Maybe I should have picked a different account that didn't have so many things, but I can figure that out. But the point is, let's say I want to send in reward for sending that ticket, I'm sending um, this sticky a Paris background. So, well, this one's for sale. Can I gift something that's for sale? I can. Um, and I'm going to send it to that address. Oh, no, where'd you go? Oh, I'll find it. I'm going to send it to this sticky, specifically this sticky. Okay, so I'm sending that sticky this item. Okay, to do this, same thing, except I'm going to be doing it from my Stickies account. Remark, send 2.0.0, item, and then 2. So the item is the Paris background. And the recipient is the sticky. And let's see if this works. Change this to Stickies. Paste this in here. We're sending the Paris background to Sticky 145. Now this is half going to work. It's going to seem to work, but not actually work. Unless I mess something up, in which case it will altogether not work. But hopefully this changes to owned by Ron Dojo and in the inventory of the sticky address. In the inventory of the sticky address owned by Braun Dojo. Now, if we go here, we're not going to see it. We want this Paris background, but it's not here. We'll refresh the page. It's still not going to be here. Now, the reason for this is because when I send you an item to your KSM address, it's fine. You receive it. But when I send an item to an NFT you own, it does not automatically accept it. So when sending an NFT to another NFT, unless you own both, the send has to be accepted, which means that behind the scenes, we do own it. As we saw on the NFT, it says we own it wherever it was. And it says we own it. It says it's in the inventory of. In fact, it should be, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Yeah, we can even see it here. Like we own it ultimately, but we haven't yet accepted it, which we need to do because it was sent to an NFT that we own, not directly to us. To do that, we need to do this example down here where it's remark accept 200, the sticky, that is the NFT that it was sent to, colon, colon, NFT, colon, colon, the item that we're accepting. Now we already have this open, so we can just change this to accept. This is going to be backwards because the sticky, the NFT is first, colon, colon, NFT, colon, colon. Now the background item. And the last thing is we need this to come from the accepting account. So we submit the transaction, we spend another 3 cents, and in reward, we should have accepted our Paris background. It's not going to be equipped because we haven't equipped it yet. And it takes a few seconds, so we'll just keep refreshing. Hopefully we didn't do anything wrong. We can review it if it doesn't work this time. Let's take a look. Remark accept 200. The accepting NFT, the background. Let's refresh again. Still nothing. Let's check. Accept again. Remark accept 200. The NFT, the item, because this is the children. Children is 2. Let's refresh again. Still nothing. Hey, it's there. Just took a second. Okay. Now as I mentioned, we can only see view, which implies that we're not on the right account. So if we switch over to the account that just accepted it, now we should be able to see equip, which we can't do because we already have something equipped in the background slot. But if we unequip it and then equip it, we can see that we now are living it up in Paris. So those are the two challenges with the Remark 2 that I encountered on the Singular platform. The send is the more important one because really I can just send, if I send you something, I would more likely just send it to your root address and then you can send it to the NFT that you want. You still need to use this manual operation thing, but because this second thing was just trying to work around the first thing and failed, I probably won't do that anyway, unless someone's up for it. If you have any questions, let me know. I am Blocks Brandon on Twitter or Braun Dojo in other places, or leave a comment. There's a Discord channel if you want. If you have a Remark 2 project and have questions with it or whatever, let me know. I've been messing around with it for several months, but that's going to do it. I hope that you enjoy and maybe learn something. If you do want a sticky, maybe I'll put one for sale. Hey, let's put that one for sale. Where'd you go? Select account. Oh wait, no, this is me. I'm not going to resell mine. I like my sticky. I'll put it up later. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be well.